So you want to take photos of the Galaxy? Very well, my Padawan, I will show you the way. Now first off, you're gonna need a tripod. For stabilizing your camera or your phone, this is paramount for any long exposure, night photography or astrophotography. You need a remote. This is to avoid touching your camera and shaking it. If you don't have a remote like this, you can use the timer in your camera or your phone. Now thirdly, you need a red light. Now the red light you still need to see in the dark, so the red light doesn't expose your sensor because of its color spectrum. It will allow for you to take photos without it showing up. Light pollution is a big problem. You need to get away from any solar powered radar lights or these power lights. Now we need to find north and south. The easiest way to do this is to see where the sun set. That's your west. The opposite is east, and then you split the difference to find north and south. The Milky Way often appears due south. So at night, the Milky Way should appear as a cluster of stars in a milky solution, hence the name Milky Way. Now make sure where you're set up, there's no trees, no giant power lines or house kappa blocking the view, so you can get a good wide angle shot of the Milky Way. Next, set up your tripod at its highest angle and make sure it's stable. Otherwise, it's gonna be shaky, the footage is gonna be unclear, and it's just might just fall down and break. We're gonna pro mode in your phone's camera and we're gonna set up our focus. So first off, we need to zoom all the way in until we find a star that looks something like this, hazy. Now we're gonna set up the focus point. So you move the focus wheel around. Make sure your focus is in manual. You move the focus wheel around until the star or that light, little speck of light there, doesn't appear as like a fuzzy, bloated out thing, but instead it resembles something of a pinhole, really sharp and crisp. That is your focus point. That is your sweet spot. Now we set up our white balance. We set it up at around 4400K. That's usually the proper white balance for the Milky Way shot. It allows for all the rich colors of the Milky Way to show. Next, you check your focus again, make sure. And then over to your shutter speed, give it a 10-second delay, and your ISO set it to 32,000. Now, if you've done everything correctly, you should not need to hold your camera still. It should be on a tripod and you're just chilling. And after 10 seconds, let's check what we got. Wow. If you're not impressed with that, you can edit later in Lightroom. But if you are and you want to learn more about long exposures, just let me know in the comments below.